Hi, it's Mitch in the Aero Composite Shop. This morning I'm going to show you an example of a fuselage that was made from original mold versus one that was made from a not original mold. So this particular fuselage I purchased somewhere north of 10 years ago. I don't believe I purchased it from the original manufacturer. But some people might call this a forgery or a counterfeit. In the industry, we tend to call it a splashed product. Splash is a kind of a slang term, which is used to describe someone who copied something from someone else's finished product. So I'll show you an example first of an original mold. This white fuselage was pulled from this mold. This is one of the original Aero Composites fuselage molds. Someone wrote on it EU-1A, and at some point someone wrote a date on it. It says 12/11/79. Another example of an original mold is this one. This is one of the original Hobby Barn molds. It says Aero 800 11/1/85. Another example, this is one of the original RC City molds. It says JK60, it says Jekyll 60, and someone wrote 1292 on it. Now, I'm not going to discuss intellectual property rights, wrong or right, rights to models. I'll simply give you the facts and let you draw your own conclusions. So, this model I purchased quite some time ago. I decided not to build it just because the quality was so poor. The easiest way to tell a splashed model is the lines that define canopy details, fairings and such are not well defined, because when the mold is splashed, the details are lost. This was laid up in what appears to be epoxy resin. The surface finish is basically like sandpaper. There were multiple dry spots in the layup and horrendous runs and gooey resin in the mold. The bottom appears to have been finished with a paintbrush. So when I received this, I decided it was not worth finishing. I put it in a box where it sat for the past probably 10 years. Now, a fuselage pulled from an original manufacturer's mold. This uses a prime and mold process. So you can see we have not a perfect finish, but one that's just about ready to put paint on. The original mold has very defined lines on the details, the canopy details. And really the only work required on this prior to paint would be finishing the seams and a few minor blemishes that are part of the production process. We work real hard to get good light layups. You'll see the inside. The cloth is fully wet out. However, there's not an excess amount of resin, which just adds weight. At any rate, hopefully I gave you some good information about how to identify a model pulled from an original fuselage plug versus a model that someone splashed. Hope I gave you some good information.